Okay, I'm just about to start printing, and I'll just try and show you that the nozzle has come to temperature. I've set it for 245, it's at 218.20 now, increasing, and you can see the amount of ooze that's coming out the nozzle. Now this is an E3D version 6 clone, it's a clone, so I can't criticise E3D version 6s, can I? It's just a cheap clone. This one even has the like piece of PTFE tubing inside the throat actually, this hot end here. And that's what I normally do, is use some long nose pliers and just try and grab it and grab that off before it starts, and usually it oozes out even a bit more as it's going through the auto leveling. You know, as you probably see, I've cleaned it off there, just can ignore that thing behind. It's still got a bit of ooze on there, so that's not too bad. But sometimes it can increase quite a bit as it's doing the auto leveling. I'll come back actually when it's, well, I'll just let it touch down to do the home here so you can see it. Using the Beal touch. Yep, big thumbs up there, Beal touch. Now before I forget, I forgot in my other videos I'm doing about doing a wiping sort of system, is that something that will wipe the nozzle clean, is that Marlin, well at least some of the latest updates of Marlin does have a wipe command in, and that will move the nozzle over areas of the print bed where you could say have a brush or something connected. But it could take up areas of your printer bed to do that and make your, in a way, make your print smaller. So it's just doing the auto tramming now. Should call it auto tramming. But that option is there in Marlin. It's just I can't remember what M command it is. I'll try and look it up and I'll put on the video. I have experimented with that, and you can ask it to move certain areas on the print bed and try and wipe the nozzle. And this is one reason I ask in the start code for the head to come about 150mm high here, and then to move slowly left. That's so I can get in with these long nose pliers, give it a nip and tweak off any of the filament, like you can see there, that's oozed out of it. Even after doing that, sometimes it will still ooze just before it prints. But I see, you might see just a little bit of ooze coming out there. Don't know. You just notice it there. But don't like to generally take it off as it's actually coming into print. But the gasket, as you see now, was moving left quite slow. That's to give me a chance to get that ooze off. Now even though it's been oozing like that, like now, you'll probably see that it's not really laying any filament down on the bed initially. There's a bit of the ooze that's come off. It's come off on the bed there, so you can get the lock off the tilt mechanism here on the tripod, and it's starting to lay the filament now. So I'm only printing out the bracket part of this Servo white nozzle thing. I'll put the title down here. This is a remix of somebody else's. Theirs is a Delta printer. The basic idea is to have a servo that will move an arm out, and it'll have a piece of silicon sort of rubber sheet in the arm that will wipe the nozzle hopefully clean and catch it in a sort of, well, a little tray that's built into the arm. That is the basic idea. This is just a bracket I'm printing out here, because I did print out both the bracket and the wiper arm before, and they were really the wrong size. Both were wrong sizes. So I've had to modify the files, and I've done some redesign work, particularly on the wiper arm, quite a bit of like modifications to that. I think should hopefully improve it. in other ways, that is. So this is just a bracket to hold the actual servo motor. I'll talk about the servo motor here. Well, I'll put a description of the servo motor here. And here is the actual servo motor. So this can basically plug directly into the ramps board, and with a M280 you can control how much it's turning. This will only turn 180 degrees, so far as I can tell, in Marlin anyway. I don't know if that's a thing on Marlin or a thing of the servo. Some sites say these should turn 220, I think it is, but some sites say, yeah, they do only turn up to 180. So I'm not unsure about what's going on there, but 180 is easy enough sort of to like bring out the arm, wipe the nozzle, and then move back out the way. That's the basic idea of the servo there. That will be clamped to the side of the printer using this bracket here. That's it, this bracket fits, etc, etc. Now this particular bracket I've got here is one that's in a way designed for my printer, but we'll put another one online that should suit some other printers, but more than likely you're going to have to change the design anyway for your printer, because lots of printers are all made different. So this is about a 2-hour print, I think, 2 1/4 hours, something like that, 2.5 hours maybe. So we'll be pausing this video, let it go a little bit longer. So I'll just reiterate that this is just a like bracket support thing. I'll show you the previous one. So this is like the wiper arm. So the horn, because you get different shape, like what the term is horns on the servo. You've seen the round one there. You get different shaped ones. Supposed to go in there, would never fit in here. That was too small in this design, and like a piece of silicone could go, like a rubber sheet almost, silicone could go in there. Tighten up the nut to grip that. As the arm swings out, it would hopefully catch the filament in here, and then you could clean it out. I've done quite a bit of changes to this when it comes to print it. This is on the outside, so it's taking up less inside room. I've also put curves on quite a lot of the inside, so it is easier to sort of get in and clean it out. And some other, well, allow for the changes in size, hopefully. It's only when I come to print it I know. But this is the bracket. This is sort of what I'm printing now. But this was totally the wrong size. The holes were sort of misaligned, like lengthwise. Also, in my iteration, because of the size of my printer, I've changed this a bit here. See where the black line is? I'm going to sort of have it curving round. I think we've got the right file, etc, etc. So the basic idea is to use G-code to, well, probably home the head while it's cold, so we know where it is, roughly. I say roughly because when you warm the bed up, that could change things. Yeah, you can see the like curvature going on there that I showed you on the black line earlier. And then probably heat the nozzle up. Move the nozzle to somewhere where it's near this servo arm. Bring out the servo arm, wipe the nozzle off, move the servo arm out the way, do the auto leveling, move the nozzle probably back to where it can be wiped and wipe it again, basically. That's the basic idea, and then do all that and then start the print. So in a way the servo's going to take over what I'm doing manually at the moment, which is using those long nose pliers. Well, hopefully this is if this all works out. Coming up to a quarter of an hour. Yep, spot on quarter of an hour. I'm going to pause and I'll come back in about an hour, I think. Well, it's 1 hour 11 minutes, it's about halfway through. See the infill there, the middle band almost, and of course the middle there, 30% infill setting on here. I hope this fits, because the previous print I think was about 7 hours where I printed out both parts together. That's one reason I'm only printing out one part here, the bracket, because while the other part's printing I can be seeing how well this fits and maybe redesign it if it doesn't fit, so to speak, a bit more, so to speak. There we are, 2 hours 14 minutes, again like the previous one I did of this, a few sort of bits of zits or whatever hanging off here, but these tend to break off, just rub off, or you can scrape off with an edge of a paint scraper or something like that. I normally use a paint scraper type thing, sometimes get stuff off the bed if I need to. Try and get this off without it. See. So as I say, this sort of cut out part here is to actually go around the edge of my frame over there. It's sort of round here, or somewhere near that. I haven't really done a 100% accurate measurement. Can you see that? I can do it like this. So it'll be something like this. That's the plan anyway. Now, let me get the stepper, see if any fits. So here's the stepper. See straight away that's a lot better than the previous one I did. Yeah, pretty much spot on with those holes there. Am I getting that in the camera? Just a second, let me move this light a bit. Dark on that side, shadows. But yeah, those holes are pretty much in line over that side. It's hard to line this up using it by hand. And then line that side, so that's okay. Yeah. So I'm going to see how well this sort of, well, actually more real, semi-real time actually. So I'm going to put the arm on here. Well, not this arm. This is the first print I did. This, the horn would not fit in here, and there's been some other modifications to this. I'll show you that just now. But basically this will go on here, different horn, well, fastening what they call a horn on there, and this will swing out, clean and nozzle if need be, go backwards and forwards. and swing out the way. You tend to have it coming out the front, and also in the new design I've got some curved edges on most of this, so it's easier to get any bits of filament that have oozed out off. Yep. So it's just coming into home, and you probably see this pretty big chunk of ooze. That's one thing I'm trying to resolve. So this is the wiper arm itself. I'm going to actually skip out the beginning of this, and I'll come back about an hour through the print, okay? Well, actually I'm coming back a bit before I planned to, because I want to show you the other part, a bit about fitting the actual, I keep going to say steppers, but servo. These bolts just fit in here, a bit of a press and a push and a turn, and they're just starting to go in, and then you can turn the bolt and the bolt's cutting its own thread. Now this is ABS, but it will do the same in PLA. I imagine I have done this ID with PLA and it works fine, that you can make the hole for the bolt like on the inside of the bolt, that size, 2.5 or 3mm, what have you, and then you can almost force the bolt in and it will cut its own thread. No need for, generally speaking, no need for tapping it. So that's what I'm doing here, is I'm putting the bolt in, well one bolt in, so to speak, just to sort of cut the threads, so that's easier when I come to actually put the servo on. I keep going to say steppers. I mean, this is the only servo I've got actually, this one I have here, that I'm going to be using for this. I don't have any other servos. So see that? I'll show you that. That just screws in there very nicely, and that's, even though that's in there only part way, that's pretty strong in there. Obviously, being plastic, if you force the bolt in, it's going to strip the threads out the plastic, so to speak. So don't over force it, but that's got a little bit of friction there, and it's got a fair enough grip. So okay, I'm going to see about actually fitting the stepper there now. Stepper, servo. Got a little bit of black there, and I've just cleaned this nozzle off. I've just changed the nozzle on here the other day, another 0.4 nozzle. I thought, the nozzle was actually leaking, and then the nozzle was actually covered in black. I thought, oh, that's what's happening, it's oozing out a bit of plastic, like filament, out round the nozzle, just seeping. Then it's getting carbonised, and that's falling on the print, black bits of plastic. Because I was finding bits of black plastic in the prints. But this is a brand new nozzle on here, still 0.4 nozzle. So I don't know why I'm getting that almost a bit of black. Just a speck of black there actually, somewhere. Sure you've seen it, but it's not a major hassle, I don't think. So as I say, this is the wiper arm here. Okay, let's pause the video, and then I'll come back when it's made some progress. Well, actually I'll probably come back when I fit the servo to this. I'll fit the servo to this and show you that. I'll probably have to chop these bolts up down to size. Well, 31 minutes. Yep, I put the servo I bolted it in. These are button headed balls, flanged ones, 15mm long, 3mm diameter. One was a bit longer, I did cut it down. I've left them deliberately in my case a bit long in case I don't want to pull a nut on, but that's on there strong. Now obviously this can go like with the wheel that side or be turned around with the wheel this side, but I'm going to try it with the wheel this side first because that's the way I expect the wires to go, sort of going out the back of the printer there. And this to go sort of on the side over here. Obviously there'd have to be some holes drilled in here for that, but for now I'll probably just clamp it on with some sort of clamps or something, I don't know yet. I'm going to hold that on there temporarily while I'm still testing it. "32 minutes. This is, I think, a 3-hour print, something like that, 3.5 maybe. "2 hours 53 minutes into this print. I estimate there's about another hour to go yet. So this was the first iteration I did, and the Servo Horn doesn't really fit into the cutout that was made for it, so obviously in this one it's a bit better. This part here was to, well, put a bolt through here and squeeze like a silicone piece of rubber that rubs against the nozzle, and then the filament drops in here. I've moved this from being on the inside to the outside on here, so it takes up less of the almost storage space for the filament when it gets knocked off. There, you can see better there. So this part is on the outside and there's 2 bolts. There actually will go under the silicone piece of rubber that will drop in to a certain extent, and those can be tightened up and squeezed. The bolts will come from this side, so the heads will be on the inside, quite low heads. That's the plan, and I have some nuts on the outside. I'm not going to screw directly into the plastic for these because it'll be getting tightened and loosened quite a bit, so I want something stronger. Now there are like insert things you can get that you can put into plastic. I think I'll try this method anyway. So the main changes here is to make this hole, this what to call it, like the thing that goes on the servo, yeah, servo. What do they call it? What do they call it now? The white thing in here. I've been thinking about it, and I can't. That's a funny name. It was a bit small in there, so I made that a little bit bigger. Put this on the outside. I've also put some curves on the inside here, so it hasn't got such sharp corners as this had sharp corners, particularly on here where it's got. So that would make it a bit hard to get any filament out, I thought. So this has some like curves on it that will make it easier to probably get the plastic out. Put a piece like across here to stop any filament, well, try and stop any filament like building up and getting down too far down that way. But really it should be emptied before it gets to that stage. Okay, finished. 3 hours 30 minutes precisely, isn't it? Oh no, 3 hours 30 minutes 13 seconds at 30 millimeters a second. Be careful this, because this part is like separate from the other parts, so if you're using a scraper and it's adhering, it might be better to almost come in from the back or rotate the model so you're not like lifting this up and it might snap off. Okay, let's have a few strings. Not too bad. So there's the back, there's the top. So as I say, this has curves on, so you can almost like just go like that and you're not going to get any filament presumably stuck in the corners. And now this grip is on the outside, so it's not taking up real estate in here. So look at the previous one, whereas this grip was on the inside there. Got this like line across here to try and stop any filament going well over the horn. That's the word I was trying to, the servo horn. I was trying to think of the word for that and I couldn't think of it. As I say, this horn, well, in this model the cutout for the horn, this like insert here was too small in this one, so I'll have to try it on this new one soonish. So the idea is put a bit of silicon like sheet in there, a couple of bolts, and the bolt heads coming this way. There are a couple of like inserts in the way, and they're a little bit rough there I think. But that's where the heads of the bolts go in. A couple of washers and nuts on that side. Tighten it up and that will squeeze the silicon like sheet in there just above that edge, and that will brush across the nozzle, cleaning it, hopefully, I say. So a good print. Let's see if this horn will fit on here. I'll just clean some of this out while I'm doing it, actually, some of the odd loose strings. Well, yep, that horn there goes in absolutely perfect. I'd say put the horn in first before you put the screw in. Well, press the horn on the like spline shaft that's on there. Probably line it up where you want first as well. Make sure the motor's like turned in the direction you want. This makes it a lot easier to turn the servo. So we've got that level of movement there. See, 180, well possibly a bit more. Looks like that can turn over 180, but I could only get, see the other video below, I could only get 180, but I didn't probably do a full test. So that's okay. Now this one's mounting to my printer. So okay, I've fitted it temporarily. Now with my setup I've only managed to get 2 bolts in at the height I wanted it, quite a bit above the build surface actually. One thing I was actually thinking about this is, would it be any good at knocking prints off the bed? Well, not at this length, but you know, something longer or what have you. But anyway, I'll just say that this has a bit of up and down movement. That's because of the horn in here. It's sort of, it's not actually fastened in. I was thinking of maybe putting some glue or even rubber in there so that it can have a bit of flexibility, but don't forget we will have silicone rubber here, so that will be higher. Make and now this is not wired up at all, it's just like cobbled together quickly, just so I can get the heights and how far I want to be and such like. So basically, normally this would be probably out here somewhere, and then I can clean this out. That's sort of a parking position, I suppose, stone position, whatever people want to call it. And then when it comes to clean, well, the head would be above that, would it? No, it would actually, yeah, the head would come down to where it's probably just scraping the silken, like rubber sheet thing that would be in there, just a small, well, rectangular square. And when that goes across, then that will scrape the nozzle clean, or wipe the nozzle clean. Then if necessary you can raise the head and like repeat the situation a few times whenever sort of needed. So that's the basic like concept of that. I think that will work. I mean, that's on there pretty strong, even with just those two bolts I've got in, one here and one here. The main worry is this, that this can move up and down at the moment. I think that would be good. So this is a remix.